I've been trading for over 8 years now, and it's been very profitable. And if I were to lose everything today, if all my capital were taken away, or if I forgot every single strategy, I would start over with this exact one. Because with this strategy, I've managed to make over $1,000 a day in the last few days. How it all works and how you can implement it for yourself, you'll find out in today's video. So definitely stay tuned until the very end. I'll go through it with you step by step, how the strategy works in detail, what you need to watch out for, and above all, how you can use this trading strategy for yourself. Whether it's for Forex trading, crypto trading, or index trading, it works for the NASDAQ or even gold. So definitely stay tuned until the end. Feel free to scroll down and leave a like. We're live here on YouTube every day, going through the markets together, looking to find some trade positions in the market together. And so I'm definitely looking forward to welcoming you here for the next live stream. But let's not waste any time and jump right into the video, which is about support and resistance, how I find my trade entries there, and more importantly, how you can find support and resistance very easily and with very little time on your own chart. For that, let's take a look at the chart. It doesn't matter at all if we're looking at Bitcoin, gold, the NASDAQ, or anywhere else. I want to show you this using gold as an example because I've been trading some gold over the last few days. The people in our Discord community already know that we've taken some nice gold trades over the last few days. If you're not in the Discord channel yet, feel free to click on the first link in the video description below to join our Discord community. It's completely free. You can join right there. You'll also get our gold signals, so definitely check that out. So as I said, I've taken some gold positions over the last few days, and I want to show you exactly how I came up with those positions, how I found my entries, and above all, how you can put this into practice for yourself right after the video. Before we get into the strategy, let me explain what support and resistance actually are, because unfortunately, many people make the mistake of not understanding what they are, how they're formed, and above all, that support and resistance can cancel each other out or even switch. Let's take a look at what support and resistance are. The chart moves in different patterns. That means we usually have an upward movement, then a consolidation phase, then usually another upward movement or a sideways phase. And if the market now rejects at the same point again, we have nothing other than a resistance line above us, which is basically nothing more than resistance. That means we have a resistance zone above us and the same below us. If the market rejects at the same point again, then we have a support area. This is nothing more than a floor in the chart that holds the chart or the price up, or rather the ceiling that naturally limits the market. Meaning at the top we have our resistance, the resistance area, and at the bottom where the chart or market price is held up, it's the support area. If this support area breaks now, meaning the price falls through to the downside and we then retest that area, this support area becomes a resistance area upon rejection. So the support area that previously helped keep the chart higher, or where we essentially created a foundation. So it wouldn't break down, now breaks through and forms the new resistance area. The same applies, of course, if the market naturally breaks up through our resistance line and then experiences a pullback, so that we then form a new support zone there. That means the breakout, which you can also trade, and I'll explain how that works in a moment, because it's also a very, very good trading strategy for trading support and resistance. I like to use support and resistance for scalping, but it works just as well for swing or day trades. If we were to get a pullback now, for example, seeing this breakout retest, we would then form a new support area from our previous resistance area. And this support area then gives us the opportunity to take a new entry right at this zone, which was previously resistance and is now becoming a support zone. We'll also look at exactly how to set the stop loss or take profit later in the video. So definitely stay tuned until the end. If you want to learn trading in general or still have a few questions because some terms aren't quite clear yet, feel free to check out our bootcamp. We have a completely free bootcamp for you. From day one, avoiding the biggest mistakes in trading, all the way to candlesticks, the perfect chart pattern, and risk management, you'll get everything here. This means you'll be fully trained so you know exactly how trading works in detail. It's completely free for you. Just click the first link in the video description to join our Discord channel. Now, of course, we'll dive into chart analysis to see how you can identify support and resistance zones on the chart. To do that, we'll clear the chart completely, go back, and when I start my day and enter a trading session, I don't draw every support and resistance zone from every time frame, as you might see on some other people's charts, where your chart eventually looks like this with 20,000 lines and you don't even know which way is up anymore, and the whole thing is just chaotic. If your chart looks like this, then you should definitely make sure that you just delete all of this. And now I'm going to show you how to do it properly so you don't have a mess with the support and resistance zones, but only have the most important zones in the market. It depends a bit on what kind of trader you are. Are you a day trader? Do you only trade swing trades, for example, or are you active in scalping like I am? If you're active in scalping, then the time frames from the 30-minute chart down to the smaller time frames are more interesting for you. If you're someone who takes day trades, then you can also look at the 1-hour chart and the 4-hour chart much better. Then you include the support and resistance zones there. But I want to show you the example in scalping, and for that, I'll first go into the 30-minute chart and draw in the latest support and resistance zones. What are support and resistance zones? We just touched on that. These are zones where the chart has experienced a rejection. I want to show you this using the past so that you can also use it for yourself in the future. For example, down here in this area, we had a very large support or resistance area in the past, which might now become a new support area. The same applies above us, of course. We have the same pattern sitting above us. So we also had a resistance area here. This resistance area was then briefly a new support area, or rather it became a resistance area again. To make it a bit easier for you, you can also go down to a 15-minute chart. Especially in scalping, it makes sense to go into the smaller time frames. That means you can see here that we have various other zones that are important to us. You can see it there too. We had a wonderful zone here, which was also a support area. We can include that as well. But I also want to show you how you can draw support and resistance lines even more easily. And for that, I'll bring in my indicator. To unlock the TradingView indicator, you need to join our Discord server. So click there, unlock access, or rather go to the VIP area, then create your ticket. In the ticket, please write your UID from the partner exchange. You'll get complete instructions here on how to unlock the VIP area for yourself. And then you'll automatically have access to our VIP area where I share my spot buys, my trade setups, and our indicator updates. That means you'll get our various indicators here, not just the one for support and resistance zones, but others too. It's completely free for you. So definitely get access, which now automatically puts the support and resistance zones in. You see, we already drew them before we put the indicator in, and the indicator puts these zones directly into your chart automatically. No matter which time frame you're in, whether you're in the 30-minute time frame, or if you're, for example, in the 15-minute time frame, or even active in scalping. In the 5-minute time frame, these support and resistance zones are also drawn in for you, and you can see it on the chart right now. At the moment I'm recording this video, that we've just bounced off exactly this support zone, and that would have been the perfect trade entry for you. For example, I also took several trade positions today. To show you, I'll go into the 3-minute chart. That was right here, the resistance zone above us. You see it here, $4,806 to $4,803. I'll also show you the whole thing here on my phone, or rather you can see it directly in my recording that I'm showing you right now. You can see right here that I took a position in that area at $4,800 and also at $4,803, or rather $4,797, which was exactly in this resistance zone to take a new sell position on gold. That means this is primarily my strategy for how I really like to trade support and resistance zones in scalping. To be able to implement this strategy later, you naturally also need access to an exchange. I trade all of my gold trades on the exchange. At VT Markets, you also get a 100% deposit bonus. In general, you can find all of our partner exchanges down in the video description. Whether it's for gold trading, if you want to trade the NASDAQ, or even cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, I trade those here on 𝗬bit or on BingX. The cool thing is, at 𝗬bit, you get VIP level number 3 completely free of charge as a gift from us. You get a fee saving of over 40% here. That means your maker fees are only 0.012% and taker fees are 0.0375%. So definitely make sure to check that out. As I said, you can find everything about the exchanges here in our Discord. But now let's get quickly to the important part of the video, how you can also achieve exactly these kinds of results by applying this trading strategy for yourself. I don't necessarily trade every single support and resistance zone directly. I'd like to give you that as a tip as well. You don't really have to get the perfect trades here. It's about preparing the perfect setups for yourself. It's not about taking every single trade, but about finding your perfect setup. And in my opinion, you find the perfect setup for yourself by going further down from time frame to time frame. That means, for example, in day trading, you take the 30-minute time frame, have your resistance zone at the top, your support zone at the bottom, and would then, for example, enter a short position when we run into the resistance zone. That means we would open a short position. The stop loss is placed right above our resistance line, with a little buffer because stop hunts happen very often, and then we'd set the take profit down in the next resistance zone. I always enter the market here with two positions. I open position 1 immediately when we enter the zone. Position 2 is opened when we are in the middle of this zone. Stop loss in both cases above our resistance zone, or in the support area, it would be below the support area with a bit of buffer. So if we get a stop hunt, I'm not automatically stopped out right at the last high. That depends a bit on your risk tolerance. Meaning if you're day trading, you can set a slightly higher stop loss because you just have a bit more buffer there. If you're scalping, you generally have, for example, with gold, 50 pips as a stop loss anyway. If you don't know exactly what pips are or have a question mark in your head, don't worry, it's fully explained in our Discord server bootcamp. So you can, or rather must, definitely set your stop loss above it, because the golden rule in trading is always trade with a stop loss, no matter how good the trade position looks, no matter how well the position or the market is performing, please always include a stop loss. It goes well 9 times, but the 10th time it goes south, and believe me, I'm definitely speaking from experience. I've blown so many accounts in my trading career, you wouldn't believe it, and I definitely don't want to put you through that. So do me a favor, always trade with a stop loss, and above all with proper risk management. So if we enter the position here, a short position, as I just said, we're entering a position, I always enter with 2 positions, meaning I take a partial position, stop loss above the last high. That means very, very tight in the resistance area. Take profit 1 would be on one hand, or take profit 2 is when you close the entire position in the next support or resistance area. And if you're scalping, as soon as the trade is up about 50 pips in profit, you move the stop loss to the entry price. Meaning after a few percent, as soon as you're in profit, move the stop loss to the entry price. After 100 to 200 pips, you take your first profits, and then you can happily let the trade continue to run. If we enter the zone again, I would, for example, or this is how I do it with my scalping, take a new entry as long as this zone is still active. The zone remains active until we find a break above the zone. That means we see a break above the zone, a retest of the zone, so that it turns from a resistance zone into a support zone, and then we have a trend reversal. That means we're then in a bullish move and would basically wait for another trend reversal. That means another retest on it. Then you could trade this retest again, or you just wait until we dive back into the next resistance zone or the next support zone. That's actually exactly how I take my trade positions. As you can see, it's super simple and easy to set the stop loss and take profit. The same thing works not only on the 30-minute chart, but you can also use it for scalping on the 3-minute chart. The nice thing is, with this indicator, you automatically get our support and resistance zones, and you see how accurately they work, especially with gold. So with gold, support and resistance work even much better than in the crypto market, but support and resistance also work very, very well with Bitcoin. That means you can see right now we're moving into the next resistance zone here. You see in scalping, the support and resistance zones are naturally a bit tighter because we're also entering short movements. That means you enter the market very briefly, stop loss always above the zone, meaning always above the last resistance or support area, to then have the take profit in the nearest zone. That means either below us in a short position, and you see you would have gotten a perfect trade entry here and could have taken your profits out down here. next trade entry here, for example, that would be a bit risky in this case, in my opinion. It always depends, of course, on how you work with your risk to reward ratio. For me, it would be more interesting to take the upper area. That means, you see, we ran up to it once. We had support before, then the whole thing flipped to resistance, meaning it flips as resistance. We then wait for the retest again. We saw a retest there once, meaning we would have entered a position there, stop loss above the last resistance zone, and would have wonderfully taken the first TP here, meaning taken profits there. It even dropped a bit further, so we even got a second entry. I actually took that one myself today as well, and it then, for example, dropped very, very nicely straight through to the downside here. Even got a third entry as well. Should we get another push upwards now, there's also the next opportunity to enter a new position here. These zones remain active until we have, as mentioned, a break above this zone and this break and retest, so to speak. Meaning a retest into this zone again, so that the zone becomes a support zone, or this support zone becomes a resistance zone. And you can implement this position or this trade strategy very well for yourself. If you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know in the comments. Also, feel free to join our Discord server, or we're also live here on YouTube every day going through the markets together, where we also take these scalp positions for ourselves or trade accordingly. So feel free to join our live sessions. Otherwise, you'll also find access to our trading Telegram group on our Discord server, where we also share our trade signals with you. So feel free to join that as well. Link is in the video description. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think of this strategy, or if you've already tried it out for yourself. Generally, if you'd like to learn how to trade, feel free to check out our Discord. Be sure to check out this video right here, where I'm going to explain exactly how this indicator works, showing you where to enter a buy position or a short position. As you can see, a new sell signal is forming right now, allowing you to enter the next trade position here. So definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel, check out the next video, and I'll see you in the next live stream.